people, let's get the show started, bro. Game number 1, we're going up against the almighty Tearlaments. We normal summon Aegirine so that we can add an Icejade spell or trap, but nope, our opponent's saying you're not adding anything. We got that infinite impermanence ready for you, hot and ready. But whenever Aegirine is targeted with a card effect, it can activate a second effect that allows us to special summon an Icejade monster from our hand or graveyard. So now using these two monsters, we're going to make Coral Anemone. And then Coral Anemone is going to allow us to special summon a water monster from our graveyard with 1500 or less attack. And that's all we can do for now. So, y'all ready for this? Alright, so he's going to start screaming for help. He's going to add the field spell. Then he's going to add the Rhino Heart. Alright, the Rhino Heart is going to send the Halfness to the graveyard. And the Scream is going to allow him to mill 3 cards off the top of his deck. So he milled the Heartbeat and he milled the Crime. So with the Heartbeat, he's going to be able to add the Crime to his hand. So that on my turn, he's going to be able to have a negate. Alright, then the Halfness is going to be able to fusion summon into the Kit Kalos. And because the Tearlaments monster was shuffled back into the deck, the field spell is going to activate. That's going to allow him to pop a card on my field. So again, whenever the Aegirine is targeted with a card effect, she can activate her second effect. That can summon an Icejade monster from our hand or graveyard. And she's also protected from being destroyed that one time. Alright, so now he activates the Kit Kalos. He's going to mill 5 cards. And then the Merly's going to activate. He's going to mill 3 cards. And then he ends up milling an Exchange of the Spirit. So that means with the Exchange of the Spirit in the graveyard, whenever he activates a Shuffler, he can shuffle back 5 cards instead of 3. Crazy, bro. Alright, I'm going to fast forward this a little bit because, you know, he's just going to do Tearlaments stuff. He's got the Aegiro. The Aegiro is going to mill a whole bunch of cards. And then he also has the Kelbit, so the Kelbit is going to mill more cards. I tried to special summon one of my Icejade monsters, but he has the Shuffler, so he's going to shuffle it back into my deck. And then, bro, he has the Gravekeeper's Trap now. So he has Exchange of the Spirit in the graveyard, and he also has the Gravekeeper's Trap. So that means that on my turn, my graveyard is going to be shut off. I cannot activate my graveyard. Alright, then he's going to activate the Rule Callus to negate my Tremora from special summoning a monster from my graveyard. Then he's going to kill my Aegirine. I can activate my Tinola to special summon the Aegirine back to my field. Then the Aegirine is going to allow me to search my Icejade Curse. So now we got the field spell, and now we have the Curse. Now we're missing just Kosmochlor to lock our opponent. Alright, so he activated Gravekeeper Trap, so now my graveyard is shut off. I'm going to activate the Kingfisher just to bait. That's exactly what I wanted him to do. I wanted to bait out that Crime. So he takes the bait. So now, before I activate my field spell, again, he's going to play on my turn because, you know, Tearlaments, they can play on your turn. They can play on their turn. They can play when the game is off. They can play with the computer and the PlayStation is off. They can just play whenever they want. Alright, so now the Sharon is going to activate, the Sulliak is going to activate, so he's going to be able to add a Tearlaments monster from the deck to the hand. So he's going to add the Rhino Heart, and then the Sharon is going to allow him to fusion summon into a monster. So he's going to go into the Kaleido Heart. And again, because the Tearlaments monster was shuffled back into the deck, the field spell, well actually I think he already used that effect, so never mind. So we add our Cradle. The Cradle is going to add our Kosmochlor. So now we have the 3 cards needed to completely lock our opponents from using any monster effects. Alright, now we special summon that Kosmochlor out here. Then we activate the field spell so that we can reduce all the monsters on the field by 1500 attack. Then we special summon our Aegirocassis so that we can synchro summon into our boss monster. And now we're going to attack into that. Nothing, because my man has the Mirror Force, bro. Yo, he has the Mirror Force. Like, bro, look at his field. He has Kit Kalos, Sharon, Rhino Heart, Merly, Rule Kalos, Kaleido Heart, Gravekeeper's Trap, Scream, Field Spell. Like, if you guys were looking for a chaff, I found your boy, because this dude has the recipe. And on top of that, he's going to be able to make a freaking goddess, bro. Bro, my man just has the recipe right here. But we did get lucky that he didn't use the Kosmochlor as material, because if he would have used the Kosmochlor as material, then we probably would have lost this turn. So luckily for us, he probably didn't read our card, and he probably doesn't understand why he's locked from using monster effects. But still, bro, look at all of this. Look at this craziness. And then the field spell is going to pop my field spell. But before it gets popped, I'm going to target my Kosmochlor so that I can reduce all of the monsters by 1,000 attack. And then he's going to attack with Underworld Goddess. But the Kosmochlor has another effect. That is my Icejade monster battles. That monster loses 1,000 attack. So we draw into the Deep Sea Diva. We activate our field spell once again. With the field spell, we can add an Icejade monster from our graveyard or banish zone. Then we special summon the Aegirine. The Aegirine is going to be able to get us a spell or trap card from our deck. But of course, before that, he's going to activate the Scream, because like I said, they love to play, you know, whenever they want to. Then the Hafnes and the Sharon is going to activate, so you already know what's going to happen. They're going to go into the Kit Kalos. And then after the Kit Kalos, I believe he's going to make a Dragon Stapelia to even add more negates that he cannot use. Oh, man. Alright, so now he's got the Dragon Stapelia. So now, all of these monsters are negated. The only one that can actually activate now is the Dragon Stapelia, because he popped my curse. So now with the Deep Sea Diva, we can special summon the guitar, and then the guitar has an effect that I can banish cards from the top of my opponent's deck equal to the number of water monsters I control. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 water monsters, so 5 cards get banished. And then using my level 7 and my level 3, I'm going to make Chang Ying. And then this was to bait out the Dragon Stapelia. I really wanted him to use this Dragon Stapelia, so he is going to negate my Chang Ying. And the reason why I wanted him to negate my Chang Ying is because now I can make a Draco. And then the Draco has a special effect that whenever it destroys a monster, it can make a second attack, and also it can get a damage boost. So we killed the Underworld Goddess, so now he gets a damage boost. We hit him for 4,400, and then with the Chang Ying, we finished that off. Get that shit out of here, boy! This has to be one of the most intense games that I've ever played, bro. But Icejade for the win, baby. I hope you guys can see just how crazy this Icejade deck can be, man, if played correctly. Cause, woo! What is good, my people? Welcome back. We have replay number 2. And we're going to go up against Branded Bystials. And our hand is looking amazing. This is like a really, really great hand. So we activate Prosperity. With Prosperity, we're able to search for the Cradle. The Cradle is going to be able to add us our Aegirine. And then with the Aegirine, we can get the final piece of the puzzle, which is the field spell. So now we have the field spell, we have the Icejade Curse, and we also have the Kosmochlor. So with this, we can lock our opponents from activating any monster effects. So we activate Tremora so she can send herself to the graveyard, and then we can special summon our Kosmochlor. So now, yeah, our opponent is a little screwed. He cannot use any monster effects. Alright, so he's going to activate the Bystial Rebellion, get himself a Bestial Jewel's Worm, activate Branded Opening, special summon the Alibur, but the Alibur cannot activate, so he cannot search for the Branded Fusion. Then the Jewel's Worm is going to special summon itself. Then he's going to target the Aegirine, but the Aegirine has a second effect that when this card will be destroyed by battle or card effect, this turn it is not destroyed. And then I can also special summon one water monster from my hand or my graveyard. But unfortunately, our opponent had the Call by the Grave, so he's going to banish my Tremora before I can special summon her. And then it's back to us. Okay, so also Erosion, if you don't know, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy one Icejade monster you control, and if you do, negate that target effects until the end of this turn. Also, if a face-up water monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card, except by being destroyed and during the damage step, you can then add or special summon one Icejade monster from your deck. So that second effect is going to come up. Alright, and then since we destroy one of his monsters with an Icejade monster, the Icejade Curse activates so that we can burn him for life points equal to that destroyed monster's attack point. Alright. And then same thing happens if one of my Icejade monsters is destroyed. I can burn him equivalent to my Icejade monster's attack. So the Icejade Curse, it's amazing. It can really help close games sometimes with burning them. Alright, so now here he's going to make a Verde. And then this is where the Erosion second effect is going to come in handy, because now with the Druid's Worm, he's going to be able to target one of my monsters, and then he's going to be able to send it to the graveyard. So because he sent this card to the graveyard, then the Erosion second effect is going to activate, which is going to allow me to special summon an Icejade monster from my deck. And since I run 2 Kosmochlors in this deck, I'm able to special summon my second Kosmochlor so that I can still keep my opponent locked from activating any monster effects. Alright, he's going to activate Branded Lost, but nothing he can do. Alright, we draw another Tremora, then the creation is going to activate to attach itself to the Kosmochlor, give itself... So the creation is going to be able to give my Icejade monsters a 400 attack and defense for each banished monster. So since he has 1 banished monster, my Tremora gets 400 attack. Actually 800 because, no, way more, because of my Tremora is also banished. But anyways, whatever. That's a wrap for him. He cannot do anything under the Cosmo Lock. So let's move on to the next replay, which we go up against Spright, if I remember correctly. Alright everybody, welcome back. We have game number 3, and we are going to go up against Spright. And we're going second, so he's going to normal summon the Reds, special summon the Jet. Jet is going to get him the Spright starter. Then with these 2 monsters, he's going to go into the gigantic Spright. But lucky for us, we have that infinite impermanence, so we're definitely going to negate that. Alright, put a stop to that. Okay, so then our opponent is going to activate D-Shifter. And then he's going to activate the starter so that he can special summon the blue, I believe he goes for. Yeah. Okay, then the blue is going to get him another Jet. And I guess he did this so that he can have follow-up for the next turn. Alright, he sets 1 down and pass. So we're going to normal summon our Sea Diva so that we can special summon the guitar. But he's going to hit us with the Ash Blossom, so we're negated. But we have the Angler, so the Angler can special summon itself whenever we control a water monster. Then we activate Manifestation so that we can special summon the Aegirine from our deck. And then the Aegirine is going to get us our field spell. And then using the Angler and the Deep Sea Diva, we make Marince's Core Anemone. He's going to activate Smasher to get rid of my Anemone so I cannot attack over the gigantic Spright. So we just set down Erosion and pass turn. And then Erosion is an Omni Negate, so we're going to pop our Aegirine so that we can negate the gigantic Spright from activating. Alright, he normal summons Maxx C, so I activate Maxx C because I feel like obviously he's going to try to special summon if he normal summons Maxx C. So he goes into the Spright L. Then he's going to get the Jet. The Jet's going to try to activate, but I'm going to put a stop to that with the Ash Blossom. Because I don't want him to search for like another starter or something, and I don't want him to have any extenders. And then using these 2 monsters, he's going to make another gigantic Spright. But this time, because he had the Elf, he can now make the gigantic Spright a 3200 attack. And then now he's going to make a Downer Magician, and then he's going to go into a Zeus. So now he's going to have a 4 material Zeus that I just have to kind of play around with. Alright, so now the task for us is just to bait out these 2 Zoo effects. So first we activate Cradle to get our Kosmochlor. Then we activate Tremora to send herself to the graveyard so that she can special summon an Icejade monster from my hand. Then he's going to activate his first Zoo effect, so that's his first mistake. So we get Tinola. Then with Tinola, we can special summon Aegirine, and then Aegirine can get a manifestation from the deck. And then he goes and activates Zeus, so that's his second mistake. So now we're good to go. We can do whatever we want. So we activate Manifestation so that we can special summon Creation, and then Creation is a level 7 tuner. So using these two monsters, we can go into our boss monster. And then Creation is going to attach itself from the graveyard, giving my monster a 400 attack and defense boost for every card that is banished. And then I guess he bricked, so that's a wrap for my opponent. So that was Spright and playing around a 4 Materia Zeus. Not bad, not bad. What's up everyone? Welcome back. We have game number 4. And first of all, look at his field, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that field is actually kind of dope. If I have extra gems to spare, I might just have to get that. I like it. That's dope. But anyways, we're going to go up against Umi Control, and I really wanted to show this replay because cards that can deal, or rather decks that can deal with our back row is definitely a kryptonite to this deck, since we are relying on our field spell and Icejade Curse. But I really just wanted to show this deck, this replay, sorry, I can't speak English now. I wanted to show this replay just so that you can see how well the deck can still perform, even though we go up against these kind of control type decks that can deal with our back row very easily. So as you can see, we try to activate our manifestation so that we can special summon an Icejade monster, but it gets negated. Alright, so we can special summon our guitar. Then he's going to banish my guitar. Alright, and then he's going to activate the trap, which is going to be able to kill my Aegirine. And then with this monster, he's going to go into a Link Spider. Alright, so it's back to us. We draw the Silent Angler, which can special summon itself from the hand whenever we control a water monster. And then I activate my field spell, and he activates the Paleozoic. So the Paleozoic is going to be able to banish my field spell. So this is what I mean, bro. Like, decks like this is definitely a kryptonite to us. Alright, so then with the Umi field spell, he's going to be able to get another token on the field. And then he's going to be able to add for a Spiral Power. Then we normal summon our Sea Diva. We can special summon the Orochi, which is another tuner. Then using the Sea Diva and the Silent Angler, we can go into Anemone. He's going to activate the Lost Wind so that he can place it on his field. We get our Aegirine back so that we can search for Manifestation. Then Manifestation is going to allow us to special summon our level 7 tuner. Then using these two monsters, we're going to go into our boss monster. Alright, and then he's going to activate his Sea Stealth attack, but I can chain link my Gymir to it, which is going to be able to banish it. And also now all my face-up monsters, they are protected from being banished and from being destroyed by card effects. Alright, so now we can wipe his field a little bit. So he activates the Lost Wind, so we're going to chain link into it so that we can banish it. And then also now our monsters are protected from being banished or being destroyed by card effects. So he tries to destroy the Koro Anemone with the trap card, but because we activated the Gymir, our Koro Anemone is safe from being destroyed. But he was able to reduce our attack with that trap card, so he's going to be able to kill my Synchro monster. Alright, so we draw another Aegirine. So with the Aegirine, we're going to be able to add a spell or trap. But he's going to negate my Aegirine, but we can still special summon a monster from our graveyard. So we special summon our boss monster once again. So the Aegirine is negated, so I cannot search for any spell or trap. Then we attach the Creation so that we can give our boss monster a 400 attack boost. And then this is the other downside about the Aegirine. So if you use its second effect to be able to special summon a water monster from the graveyard, but at the end of the turn it has to return to the hand. So that's why my synchro monster went back to the extra deck. So he's going to tribute to get a field spell, but we're going to hit him with the Call by the Grave. And little by little, we were able to dismantle our opponent. And I know this is sort of like Umi Control. They're the ones that tried to dismantle you by playing it very slow and steady, but we kind of beat them at their own game. And this is why I really wanted to showcase this specific replay. That you can play this deck very slow and steady as well. Alright, so now we have the creation is going to be able to special summon itself to the field. So now I can make another level 10 synchro monster. So we go back to our Icejade. He's going to activate another freaking spiral battle, whatever that thing is, but we're going to chain link to it. So now it gets banished, and now all of my monsters are protected from being banished or destroyed by card effects. So now we wipe his entire field. All he has left is just the field spell. Alright, so then the creation is going to attach itself again. He's going to try to get a token, but we're going to chain link again. So we're going to banish his Umi field spell. And now he's completely fucked, because without that Umi field spell, he can't really do much. But yeah, this is just to showcase how well the deck can still perform, even though when we go up against decks that can kind of deal with our back row. But alright, let's move on to the deck list. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the deck list portion, and let's just jump right into it. So we are running one Yamatako Orochi, and this is just a level 1 tuner, but it can also be treated as a level 8 tuner. So it's really great whenever we're trying to make Psychic and Punisher, since we run a lot of level 3s in the deck. Then we have 3 Deep Sea Diva, which is a level 2 tuner. And when it's special summon, you can special summon 1 level 3 or lower Sea Serpent monster from your deck. And you're always going to try to special summon the guitar, because when the guitar is special summoned, you can banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the number of water monsters you control. So it's a good way to start crippling our opponent a little bit. Then we have 2 Maxx Cs. We have the Ghost Belle. I've been running Ghost Belle, but I've been going back and forth between Ghost Belle and Ash Blossom, just to deal with any graveyard effects. So you can kind of alternate them. And then we have 3 Icejade Aegirine, one of the most important cards in this deck. It's our starter and our searcher and everything. Then we run 1 Angler as a sort of an extender. If we control a water monster, we can special summon this card from the hand. Then we run 1 Tinola and 3 Tremora, and these 2 cards we use it mainly for the second effect, which is whenever a water monster is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card and then special summon 1 Icejade monster from your hand or graveyard. So they both have the same secondary effect, and we pretty much use them for that effect. Then we have our level 7 tuner, which it can attach itself to an Icejade monster, and then it can give them a 400 attack and defense boost based on the number of banished cards. So with this level 7 tuner and the Aegirine, it's how we're usually going to make our level 10 synchro monsters. And then we run 1 Kingfisher, and then this Kingfisher we can attach it to the Kosmochlor. And when we attach it to the Kosmochlor, it can then attack in defense position. So we have like a 3000 attack monster with it. And then we run 1 Harpies Feather Duster for back row removal. Triple Tactics Talent, because sometimes we really want to draw cards with this deck to get our lock as quickly as possible. Same thing for Prosperity, just in case if we have any brick hands. We have 2 Icejade Cradle, which it can add a monster, an Icejade monster from our deck to our hand. And then this card is not once per turn, so you can activate 2 of them in one turn. Then we have 2 Icejade Manifestation, and this card allows us to special summon an Icejade monster from our deck to our field. So sometimes we'll special summon the creation so that we can then synchro summon into our level 10 with the Icejade Aegirine. and then we run 2 of the field spell, and then we run 2 Icejade Curse. We newly added the super polymerization. We added 2 Call by the Grave, and the reason why I have 2 Call by the Graves is just because there's a lot of monsters that activate in the graveyard that can kind of pop one of my back rows, so I use it sort of as protection for my back row. And then 1 evenly matched, 1 Imperm, and 1 Icejade Erosion. And then I newly added the Garura, just because this card right now is super cracked with super poly. Like this right here can help break boards with super poly, and it's been really helpful. So I definitely had to add this card. And then just Starving Venom Fusion as another super poly target. We have 1 Egyptian God Slime, 1 Deep Sea Prima Donna. We have 1 Stardust Dragon. This is also just to help protect our back row. And then Draco. We have 1 Adamancipator Risen-Dragite, which again, this is also to help protect our back row. 1 Axel Stardust Dragon to help make our Stardust Dragon. 1 Baron de Fleur. 1 Chain Ying. 2 of our Icejade Gamer. 1 Psychic and Punisher. 1 Marince's Coral Anemone. And 1 Nightmare Unicorn. So yeah, that's the updated deck list to the Icejade deck. I hope you guys really enjoyed this deck. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy playing it. It has become my favorite deck after Vampires. So yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed today's replays, and if you did, it would really greatly help me out if you can drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. So thank you all so much, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm pretty much gonna make an updated vampire deck list. This is what I've been working with, so my next video you can expect to be another vampire video. But yeah, thank you all so much. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.